Well, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and welcome back to the CoolDown.tv iRacing Street Stock Series, week number 3 of season number 3 of, well, what is going to be another exciting night of racing, another long list of drivers back into our series tonight. I think a total of 19 cars tonight, last time I checked, as we get ready for our heat races. Talking to the race director, it sounded like it's going to be 3 heats tonight, and we're going to get right to this. Starting on the front, on the heat number 1, front row, the number 11 of Thomas Kennedy. The outside of Thomas is going to be the number 33 of SHAWN KLASSEN. On the inside, second row is the number 43 of Gareth Senkow. And on the outside is the number 4 JR, also known as the number 9 on our list here, of Cameron Brown. In the third row, we have the number 19 of Rick Lowy. First time running tonight in this season. And on the outside, Jeff Rempel, your back-to-back feature winner over the last 2 weeks in the number 12. And rounding out the top 7 of heat number 1 is the 153 of Michael DEMCHUK. Thomas Kennedy, a sprint car driver in real life. We had our first live look-in on Thomas Kennedy last week, and hopefully, well, I don't know if that we're planning to do that again. That would be awesome if we are. We are planning to do that again with the same drivers. The other one was Gerling, right? Dave Gerling. As one more pace lap, and we're going to go green. Thomas Kennedy, who has been a fierce competitor in the front row week in and week out, just not able to get a win. Jeff Rempel being dominant. Here we go, green flag. Thomas Kennedy, your early leader. In the second spot is Gareth Senkow in second, but he's being chased down on the outside by Shawn KLASSEN. The 4JR of Cameron Brown to the inside. Early lead for Kennedy as they battle it out for second and third and fourth and fifth. Here comes Rempel on the inside of KLASSEN. He gets into the back of the 4JR. He's going to lose it. He's sideways. Caution coming out. Number 12 of Jeff Rempel, your back-to-back feature winner from the last 2 weeks, getting an early caution. We'll see what the race director has to say. Taking a look at the instant replay here, we'll see that number 12 of Rempel sideways, but it looks like he got into the back of the 4JR and then slid up and then just trying to stay off the outside of the number 33 of Shawn KLASSEN and got it sideways a little bit there. Yeah, it looks like he had to overbrake to stay off the back bumper of the 4JR of Cameron Brown, and he most likely is going to go to the back of the field for this. Just not gauging properly of Cameron Brown's braking, and unfortunately is spinning himself out and will go to the back of the pack. Just waiting on official word from the race director. Hardware error. Are we waiting for him to line back up, or are we moving on? Well, looks like Rempel's back in line. We're green flag. Cameron Brown to the inside. Closer run for him on Thomas Kennedy, your leader, side by side for KLASSEN and Senkow. So they might be settling into positions here as we get towards the halfway mark of this race. Kennedy with a 2-car length lead. Cameron Brown in second. Here comes Senkow. Rempel's moved his way back up to 5th. He needs to finish in the top 4 if he's going to transfer straight to the A main. Kennedy's really liking what he sees in the mirror. Ooh, Senkow gets into the back of 33. They keep going. Rempel's going to take advantage of this. Gets to the inside of Senkow. He's battling for a top 4 position. But we're halfway through this race. And Kennedy's now got a 5-6 car length lead. KLASSEN trying to hold on to 3rd and 12th. Rempel in 4th. Senkow's on the outside looking in. Looks like Kennedy's going to seal this one. Heat number 1. Brown in a distant 2nd place with KLASSEN on his tail. And here comes Rempel. Rempel to the back bumper of the 33, but it's not going to be enough. Bottom middle of the racetrack seems to be the place to go right now, as we have 2 laps to go. Whoa, the 33. Oh, Kennedy spun out. The 33 hit the 4. Whose caution is it going to be? Or is the race over? I'm on replay. I was too far behind. It was over. What a goofball. I was. I had it on replay. I never pushed a button. I don't know what happened. If this was real racing, I wouldn't have to hit the replay button. Well, that was silly of me. Thomas Kennedy, I think, was your winner. I had to skip the live after seeing the replay. Nick LEEVIRUNGE. We're online, right, for our 2nd heat? We're lined up for it? I'm live? Okay. Nick LEEVIRUNGE in the number 75 is your front row leader on the pole for heat number 2. On the outside, Jerome GUYOT, who, as far as we know, can still see after getting laser eye surgery within the last 36 hours. We'll see what he can do, half blind. Don ASHTON on the inside of the number 99, 2nd row. On the outside, Tyler Dell, who's been a winner in the past in this series, is starting in the 4th position. LEEVIRUNGE, I think that's how you pronounce it, new driver in the number 25. And Steve BOUWMAN, who had a really good run last week, but fell back and off the racetrack twice, will be rounding out the top 6 of this heat. I think Max Wozni supposed to be in this heat as well. I'm not quite too sure. Having connection issue possibly on this heat race. All right, pace truck's pulled off. Here we go. Green flag for the number 75 and 48. Side by side. Oh, 75 slides up into the 48. The 48 hits him in the back. Dell on the inside. It could be 3 wide here. 3 wide coming out of the corner. Dell has to slow down to turn number 4. This is going to be a tight battle all the way through. Tight battle for the top 3. Here comes Bowman battling for 4th. Remember, top 4 transfer to the A main. Nick LEEVIRUNGE in the top 3. GUYOT's the leader. He's going to... Oh, 75 gets into the back of the 8s just a little bit, but they keep it going. Top 3 battling it out still. With the 8 car blinking out just for a second there. Dell is all over the back bumper of GUYOT. He's going to try to dive to the bottom, gain a little bit of speed on the backstretch. Ooh, it is slick in the middle of the track. You can see how much the number 8 lost grip coming out of turn number 4. He's had to slow up for the 48. He's going to stay off the inside wall. He does stay off the inside wall. Still, he's right at the bottom. He has to overbrake to stay off the 48. Almost gets it completely sideways. LEEVIRUNGE almost getting into the back of the 8. We got just a few laps to go. GUYOT, your leader. Dell still on his bumper, not giving him much, but he's got to get in that corner a lot hotter in order to keep up with him on the backstretch. 1, 2, 3. Go. Dell and LEEVIRUNGE. 2 laps to go. For the number 48 of Jerome GUYOT, he slides up. Dell's going to try the high side. And that's it. Oh, they're 8 laps. They're not 10. That's why. That's the other issue I have. Not only was on replay, they're 8 laps, not 10 laps. What'd you do? What'd you change it up for, Mr. Race Director? No, we've done 10 laps, man. This is the first time we've done 8 laps. Don't you get silly on me, Race Director. So they're 8 laps this time. I should have read the info. There's your winner, Jerome GUYOT. Jerome GUYOT. Yeah, his brother's name. His brother's also a racer. I think all the GUYOTs have raced, I think, except for sister. All right, heat number 3, 8 laps, because I don't read. And your starting of this field is going to be... This is like the worst broadcast I've ever done when it comes to announcing. I'm so all over the map. Heat number 3, Chris Peters in the 23 is your pole sitter. Patrick Davis in the 001 on the outside. Inside, Brian DORGE in the 16. Max Wozni in the 20 on the outside. And Derek Robinson in the 818. And Dave Gerling in the 17 will be your back row drivers as we get started in heat number 3. Pace truck pulls off. Green flag. Brian DORGE on the inside of Chris Peters. Top 3 at the bottom of the racetrack. The 20 of Wozni on the outside. He's going to get overtaken by the 818, leading lap number 1. Peters still your leader. DORGE onto the inside of Peters. Coming out of turn number 4. He's not going to gain enough. DORGE trying again, something similar that Dell was trying to do. He gets to the inside. They're going to go side by side, coming onto the backstretch onto turn number 2. DORGE still on the inside. Peters getting a little bit sideways, but it's still Peters in the lead. Good battle for 4th spot with Max Wozni and the number 11 of number 17 is who it should be. Got a custom number on it. That's Dave Gerling right at the back. So I got confused because I got 2 sets of numbers here. But it's all Chris Peters at the front. They've kind of stretched out thin now. Very evenly matched. Every single one of these cars in heat number 3. Peters is going to have to make a big mistake in order to have DORGE take the lead. As with just a few more laps to go, coming to the front stretch, Brian DORGE is not gaining enough to pass for the lead. He's looking good on the inside, but just not enough momentum. It's going to be very interesting to see what happens in the A main as this track will widen out as we head to the checkered flag. And the number 23 of Chris Peters is your winner of heat number 3. Second to Brian DORGE in the number 16. 001 Patrick Davis, top 3. He'll be part of the invert. Max Wozni, your last transfer spot. And Dave Gerling is going to be starting, I believe, on the front row. No, he'll be second row inside or outside in the B main. So we're going to go straight to the B main. And we are going to start with the front row. The front row will be the number 43 of Gareth Senkow, who is a drag racer in the real world. First time ever dirt track oval racing has been on iRacing. Don Ashton, the 99, is going to start on the outside front row. Dave Gerling inside in the third position. Hey, just like what I thought, with Rick Lowy on the outside, the number 19. On the inside, third row is the number 25, LEEVI RUNGE. Rounding out the back in 6th and 7th position will be the 818 of Derek Robinson and the 153 of Michael Demchuk. Blinking out quite a bit. Hopefully he can keep his connection consistent. Senkow, who's been looking really good this year, had a heat win earlier as the season started out, but fell back in the feature last week. Pace trucks pulled off. We're going to go green for the number 43 of Gareth Senkow. Wow, what a start for the 43. Gained a ton of space over second. Looking to get one better starting position by passing the 43. Gerling's been very good in the past of taking the win in the B main. Win one B main would be his main. Already stretched out a little bit between first and second and third and fourth. Gerling getting on the inside of the 43, but not gaining any momentum. It's deep on the outside now, but it's not going to be enough. Try. Came in a little bit too low. What a battle. What a battle. LEEVI RUNGE in third. A little bit higher in the groove. Gaining some distance on the top two. Looking really good. Really smooth out there. He might have a shot at second. We are almost halfway done. This B main. Good, smooth run side by side on the front stretch. And the 17/ the 11 of Dave Gerling has got the lead. Now he's going to block a little bit on the 43. 43 is going to try on the inside. A little bit of rear bumper damage on Gerling's car, but you know, like I mentioned earlier, he is so good in these B mains. Senkow has to brake a little early not to run into the back of them. Is that going to give the advantage to the 25? Top three have separated quite a bit from fourth on back. Senkow not giving up, but he slides up to the top of the track. Going to dive down low again, see if he can gain anything on Gerling. I don't think Gerling's going to lose this position now that he's gained it. Wow, almost got him to the side. Inside the 43, the 25, side by side. We're going to come to two to go. 25 taking an opportunity. The 25 and 43 side by side with a lap and a half to go. One lap to go for the number 11/17 of Dave Gerling. Oh, the 43 slides into the 25 for second. They keep going. But it's going to be all Gerling here. The battle for second. Who's it going to be? Second place is going to go to LEEVI RUNGE. Gareth Senkow rounding out your top three. And just want to say welcome to those that are logging in on the Twitch stream as well. Thanks for joining us. Thanks for joining us on YouTube. And thanks for joining us on Facebook as well. Hey, what's up, OTC and Chicky? Those are some of our Twitch users. Just a shout out to them for joining the Cooldown.tv Street Stock iRacing Series Week 3 of Season 3. We're going to get straight into the A main. As I slide this cool graphic over on my screen, Bryan DORGE is going to be your lead pole position driver in the number 16. He's going to start this race off in an excellent position to the outside, the number 8 of Tyler Dell on the front row. Cameron Brown in the 4JR, or the 9 if you're looking at the iRacing graphics, would be on the inside second row. On the outside, the number 23 of Chris Peters. Jerome GUYOT on the inside third row, and the number 48, who's just had LASIK surgery in the last 36 hours, won his heat race. On the outside of him, the sprint car driver in real life of the number 11 of Thomas Kennedy. On the inside, 7th position is the number 33 of SHAWN KLASSEN. The outside of him is the street stock driver in real life, as well as on iRacing, the number 75 of LINERT. Patrick Davis, who's a Wissota Midwest modified driver in real life, in the 001. And to the outside of him, back-to-back feature winner over the last 2 weeks, as well as former Super Truck driver in the number 12, starting way back in the 10th position. Stephen Bowman in the number 14 will start 12th. Max Wozni will be starting, 11th. Max Wozni in the number 20 will be starting 12th outside 6th row. Dave Gerling in the 17/11 will be in the 13th position, and LEEVIRUNGE in the 25. Gareth Senkow is going to be rounding in the 15th position in the number 43, and Derek Robinson in the 818. Rick Lowy 17th in the 19 car, and DEMCHUK and ASHTON rounding out the back of the field. So quite the field of cars. Pace truck pulls off, green flag. Bowman seems to have an issue. He slows right up. The 48's gone sideways. We got wrecks everywhere. Caution's going to come out. We'll take a look at the replay and see what happened. That was not a good start for this race. Now, for those of you that are on Twitch, I have shared the YouTube link. So if you're watching the on Twitch, there's a full broadcast available with graphics and everything else. And that's where most people would watch. But of course, if you're watching on Twitch here, you'll see what my feed is. So I'm broadcasting to Facebook as well as to YouTube. It is a game, it's a simulator actually called iRacing. This is on a dirt track and you're watching Cooldown.tv. And we broadcast this race Thursday nights at 8 Central is when it's on Twitch, and 8:30 is when we broadcast the full race. So we had 3 heat races and a B main, and now this is our A main feature. Caution is out with a couple incidences on the first lap coming into turn number 1. This race will be 30 laps, and 40 minutes is the time limit if we were to get past that point. These are real drivers racing. And a lot of them race in real life as well. Pace truck's going to pull off 2x2. Green flag, the number 16 of Bryan DORGE, your leader, taking him back into turn number 1. Side by side, the 12 gets into the side of the 75. They're going to keep going. Looks like they're going to keep going, all the drivers. Now, GUYOT into the wall on the back stretch. He's going to keep it going. He's probably got a problem with the right front of the car. Him and the 48 and the 14 get together. The 001 get together at the back. Caution's going to come back out. We got a little bit of rough driving out there. And Steve Bowman had gone to the back of the field. Caution is out once again. These boys are going to have to really settle it out. We want to get some green flag runs. Only have completed 3 laps and 2 cautions. Let's take a look at the replay and see what happens. Yeah, at this time of the year, it's pretty cold outside, and a lot of these drivers have gaming rigs set up with steering wheels in the whole bit. Some of them run an Oculus Rift with the headset. Other people run triple monitors or a single large monitor. And we're hoping to have some live look-ins here soon on the broadcast. So if you do check the link on youtube.com for those that are on the Twitch feed, to actually shut the sound off and watch the full broadcast as well. And those of you that are on the broadcast, you can check that out. You can check out the YouTube channel. Really appreciate everyone participating. We're going to go single file on the restart because NICOLAS going to go to the back of the field. A little bit of brake checking issues going on towards the back. We're going to delay the start of the flags because some of these cars need to get fixed up, and they are allowed one reset. After that, they have to go to the pits if they have an accident to get manually fixed, like as if it was real life. But we do give these drivers one quick fix, and we'll start at the back of the field. Yes, the people in the fans will certainly look fake. Although they're more three-dimensional than they used to. So we're just going to line up. Pace truck pulls off. We're going to go green flag racing once again. Brian Dorge, your leader. We got another caution. Caution out once again. Steve Bowman's night may be done. Being involved in another incident. Don't know if it's him on his own. Ooh, looks like the 19 may have come down off the track and someone else may be going to the back. This is a really interesting racetrack. I've run this one myself on Legends cars as well as street stocks, and it almost feels like you're always going in a circle. It is a very short track, a very round racetrack. Rick Lowe's going to go to the back of the field for that caution, having come down onto Steve Bowman. Steve Bowman, who in real life is an experienced setup expert. And he helped set up a variety of race cars in real life. He most certainly would be the first one to admit that he is not so much the race car driver compared to his brother. We're going to go green flag as the pace truck pulls off. 16 of Brian Dorge. Here we go. Brian Dorge, your leader. 5 laps into this race. Dell moving into second. Chris Peters third. And Thomas Kennedy in fourth. Thomas Kennedy is a sprint car driver in real life. If you've ever seen sprint cars before, search it up. You're going to be in for a ride, that's for sure. Brian Dorge, your early leader. Where is Jeff Rempel is the big question. He was your back-to-back winner over the first 2 weeks of this season. The track is drying out very quickly. You see some dust starting to sweep off. We got another caution. I didn't see it. Rempel's still in the 10th position. He hasn't moved very much at all. We're going to take a look at an instant replay. It looks like Jerome GUYOT is having some issues out there. Caution coming out again. Let's see what happens. Racing on a dirt track, we're drifting all the time. No ASHTON. Personally, I've never actually been to ASHTON. Yeah, it looks like a lot of issues in that number 48, taking a look at the replay. We're going to line them back up, but yeah, I would agree that there was a little bit of rowdiness going on towards the back of the field. Got a funny comment of what do you think will happen first, a clean lap for the Rona vaccine. That's a good one. That is a good one. Just let our race director know that the commentary is a little bit quiet on the YouTube. And I just checked too, and yes, it is. So we can make a little bit of an adjustment there. I know the race director is listening. We're going to delay the green flag on this. All right. We're going to delay once more. Brian DORGE started third in this race and has taken the early lead. And let's see who else we got here. Let's see who's been moving up. 12th to 7th, Max Wozni. 15th to 8th, Gareth Senkow. The drag racer in the real world has really figured out how to turn left. Guyot's been having a hard time. He hit the wall. Pace truck's going to pull off. Guyot is still out there. We got a bit of a bump and rubbing situation. And we are green flag once again. DORGE still leading this race. Lots of drivers on the inside, but KLASSEN on the outside, challenging for the 4th position with Cameron Brown. Getting slick out there. And it's all DORGE right now, but Chris Peters gaining lap by lap just a little bit more. And we are 1/3 through this race. Here comes Dell on the inside of Chris Peters. Can you get any lower? DORGE is very happy watching a battle turn out in 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. Looks like we got an incident out of turn number 2 or 4, that might have been. No caution as of yet. Cars separating just a little bit now. There's a pack of the top 5. There's a large space. There's 4 more cars, another bit of space, and then 2 more cars and more space again. So we've really, whoa, the number 4 hits the cone, cuts in too early, and hits the inside of the 33. They're going to both keep it going. That means there's only 3 cars in a group at the front. That moved back into another pile. There's a pile of about 6 cars, almost 10, 12 car lengths behind the top 3. Cameron Brown's now moved to the outside of the 4 JR. KLASSEN to the inside. Is he going to do a slide move into the number 4 JR to maybe return the favor? Not yet. Doesn't look like it. Looks like he's going to stay low. Peters all over the back bumper of DORGE. Sideways is Dell. Dell's going to fall back now. Big space between the top 2, 3rd, and then 4th again. As Dell gets to the into the inside wall, almost losing it on his own. Wow, this track is really starting to rubber up. Caution is out. We're going to restart this race again. Good green flag runs there. We ran about 6 runs of laps, and looks like the 818 of Derek Robinson is at the outside of the track, sideways, facing the wrong way. Brian DORGE dominating this race right now. Still haven't seen Jeff Rempel. They're going to line him back up, and we're going to see how this works out. Chris Peters, though, do not count out Chris Peters. let's see what's happened here. We'll take a look at the grid. So Bryan Dorge started on the pole. So the graphic I was looking at was wrong. Started on the pole. Chris Peters started 4th, is running 2nd, and challenging for that lead. Tyler Dell starting 2nd, is running in the 3rd position. Shawn KLASSEN in the 33 started 7th, is in the 4th position. Look at this. Jeff Rempel is currently in 5th position, started 10th. There is still half a race to go. Does it look like Jeff Rempel can make it 3 in a row on our iRacing series season number 3? We're going to find out. He's in a top 5 position. He has a shot at making this 3 for 3 this season. But right now, it's the Bryan Dorge, Chris Peters battle. But they're going to have company real quick if they're not too careful. 14th to 7, LEEVIRUNGE, really good run for him. Gareth Senkow's fallen back a little bit, but still solid. 15th to 8, Pace Truck's pulling off. Here we go. Green flag for the number 16 of Bryan Dorge. Sideways again, the number 8 of Dell. But he keeps it going. Caution is out. Something happened there. I only got a snippet of it. As the cars catch up to the pace truck, this track has slicked right off. You're starting to see the shine off the lights. As the lights are on now, you can see the shine on the racetrack. And that essentially means that there is almost no more moisture on that part of the track, starting to rubber up. So the line might move a little bit more to the outside, but right now it seems to be on the inside. There's enough moisture at the bottom of the racetrack. We're gonna, looks like single file restart, because the double files aren't really working right now. Looks like GUYOT's made it back out onto the field. We're going to delay one more green as we wait for a couple drivers to get back on the lead lap, maybe repair a car or some damage. Yeah, some of these drivers still in this race. And yeah, it is a very good looking simulator for sure. All these, the race surface changes over time depending on how many cars. Air temperature has an effect. The sun goes down, there's real time. As the sun goes down, you might see some of the moisture come back up on the track. More pronounced so in asphalt. You can actually, in the asphalt racing, you know, the shadow from the billboards will make a difference in traction versus where the sun is, which the heat would make it more slippery. So very much real physics, or as close to real physics as possible to the real thing. So, single file. Bryan Dorge still your leader. Chris Peters right on the back bumper with Tyler Dell, Shawn KLASSEN, and your back-to-back winner of Jeff Rempel in your top 5. Looks like we're going to do... Looks like the 001 of Patrick Davis pulling out of the pits. He's going to catch up to the end of the longest line. Majority of our cars still in this race. I think all of them are, which is really great to see. Sometimes we have a lot less by this point. Pace truck pulls off. Green flag for Bryan Dorge. Ooh, it's gotten real slick for the 16. Had to let off the gas quite a bit more. Tyler Dell's, wow, dives to the inside. KLASSEN's going to slide up the racetrack. Side by side with Rempel. Rempel's going to try to gain that position to move into 4th. Caution's out. It's got to be near the back of the field because I'm looking at the top 10 or 12 here. Let's take a look at this replay. Looks like the 153 gets hit in. Oh! 153 loses it. the 48 of Jerome Guyot involved. The 153 of Michael Demchuk involved. We'll see who's going to stick around. There's not much left on the front bumper of Guyot after hitting the outside of the number 19 of Rick Lowy. Well, Dorge has got to be at a 50-50 of happy of the fact that he's still in the lead with 11 laps to go, but also maybe not so happy over the fact that these cautions keep coming out, which is going to give someone like Jeff Rempel the opportunity to make some moves here. As the laps count down, you'd think that Dorge would be a little bit more confident that he's going to have a shot at winning this race, but Jeff Rempel has proven time and time again that he is a top contender in this series, and if anything is a good story, is that he's gone from 10th to 5th already in this race and had a shot at 4th. So this track is really slicked off. You can see the shine off the surface. If you're in the middle of that track and you're not squeezing the very bottom, trying to get that last bit of moisture, and you lose, you're going to easily lose a position sliding up. But the pace truck's pulled off. Green flag for Brian Dorge in the number 16. Dell's going to try the outside. Dell, oh, caution's out again. Michael Demchuk went to the back of the field of that last caution. What is going on? And it sounds like everything sounds pretty good on YouTube now when I take a look here. Awesome. I want to thank all the people. We have 24 people watching on the YouTube channel. Thank you so much. I don't know how many we have on Facebook. I don't have that loaded up right now because everyone sends me messages while I'm announcing here, but just great to have you all on board. Really appreciate all the fans of Cool Down Racing Video Productions and cooldown.tv. If you want to check out racing rewinds from this past summer from Emo Speedway, Lake of the Woods Speedway, and Red River Co-op Speedway, head down to cooldown.tv for $10 US per month or $70 US for the year. You can watch all the videos that we filmed throughout this summer. As the pace truck pulls off, green flag for Brian Dorge. Really good start for the number 8 of Dell. He gets to the outside of the number 23 of Chris Peters. Chris Peters wants that spot back because he wants a shot at the lead. Caution's out again. You know what? There's a time limit on the race, so we are currently at 23 minutes and 21 seconds. The time limit is 40 minutes or 30 laps. So one of two things will happen. So we're over halfway on time, but we will have only 8 laps to go. And I appreciate the chat comments on YouTube with the thumbs up and the smiley checkered flag. Yeah, you know who we're talking about, right? Great job, fans. Really appreciate you. Cars are going to catch up to the pace truck. Nick LEEVIRUNGE has retired early. Don ASHTON has been disqualified from the race. Yeah, this is, we had a really great race night last week. Every week's a little bit different, let's just say. Pace truck pulls off, green flag, Brian Dorge. And Dell with another great start on the inside of Chris Peters. He might get the position this time. Let's see what he can do. We got a rollover in the number 14. Caution's back out again. I'm sure the race director is going to have to make some tough decisions now. We've had one long green flag run of 6 laps. Steve Bowman has now retired early from the race, and you can just see the shine on this racetrack. Ooh, it is slick. Well, let's take a look at our grid here. We'll see that Jeff Rempel's actually fallen back a position into 6th. He's been our hard charger, but it just hasn't been enough. Wait for my grid. It looks like it's a little bit off. We're gonna have to delay the caution, make sure everyone gets lined up. Yeah, it is 2 strikes and you are out. Two caution rule. Of course, if you have 19 cars and they all spin out, it could be a long night. But yeah, be sure to check out cooldown.tv. Or check out our YouTube channel. If you're already on YouTube, you already know where our channel is. But if you're on Facebook, you can check out our YouTube page. We have highlights as far back as 1986. And for those of you that can't do math, that's 34 years ago. 34 years ago worth of racing video from tracks around this region. Just search Cool Down Racing Video Productions and subscribe and get all the notifications when we are uploading either live racing or we're uploading videos. We're going to delay one more lap. Thanks again to Chris Seymour for hosting iRacing. He's got a long history with iRacing, and Chris does all the pay-per-view and logistics for the summer filming. And we were all really happy that we're able to go racing this summer in this region. And we hope to do it again next year, although things aren't looking really good right now in this country. We hope things will improve as we get to warmer weather again in the new year, February, March, and April, so we can all enjoy the outdoors all over again. And for those of you that love your snowmobiling, now you're just waiting for snow. I personally am not a snow person, but for those of you that have sleds waiting in the shop, yeah. Pace truck pulls off. Here we go. Green flag again. Dell's going to try to get a good run on the outside. 7 laps to go, and Rempel's in the mix. Well, Rempel's going to take advantage of Peters and KLASSEN getting into the wall on the outside. Rempel, he wants to get into 3rd. It's almost 3-4 wide for 3rd. Rempel's in 3rd. Oh no! The 25 gets into the 12. Everyone's still going, but there's a caution somewhere. What happened? There's cones flying everywhere. Oh my gosh, what a restart. What a restart. Oh my gosh, what does that mean for Rempel? That was a heck of a race. And the caution is out. We're going to find out who it is. Hey, Loco, how you doing? Welcome back. Jerome Guyot has been disqualified from tonight's race. Brian DORGE is probably wondering what's going to happen now, because he's got a new driver in his rear view mirror, and the number 12 is also in 4th. Tyler Dell, Shawn KLASSEN. Shawn KLASSEN in the top 3. He ran, I think it was last week, he ran really well as well. He's got a little bit of front left bumper damage. But the real story here is going to be if the number 12 of Jeff Rempel can make a move on the 33 and maybe make it 3 wide. Pace truck pulls off. Green flag. Dell's going to try to get to the inside. Not going to be enough. Cone goes flying into the infield as we head into turn number 1. This track is getting dusty. But Rempel looks faster, but he doesn't. He's running out of laps. Rempel's running out of laps, but a top 3 would be perfect for him. DORGE knows he just has to hit his marks. There goes another cone. Dell's got to make a move, but I don't know if there's any space out there. He's going to have to really put caution out.
Caution is out.
I'll tell you, as cold as it might be in some people's yards, it is hot on the race surface. There's, I'm sure, some steaming heads wondering what is going on near the back of the field. Some bumping and rubbing in caution laps here too. Jeff Rempel, Levi Runge, 14th to 6th in this race. We have a total of 14 cars in this 19-car start left on the track. Patrick Davis has disconnected manually and retired early tonight. And Thomas Kennedy, the sprint car driver in real life, is going to start at the back of the field. Only 4 laps to go for Bryan DORGE, but Tyler Dell's all over his back bumper. We're going to restart single file. Base truck most likely going to pull off here. Look at Dell on the inside. He wants to take a run here. They're going to be side by side. Was it a jump? I don't think so. DORGE is going to slide up the racetrack. Something's going to happen here. Side by side for the lead, coming out of 2. Dell's not able to make the pass yet, but DORGE is going to slide right up. Dell gets into the inside wall. Who's going to take advantage of this? Rempel moving into 3rd. Rempel into 3rd, only 3 laps to go. 3 laps to go for the driver of the number 16. Oh, we got another wreck. Caution's going to come out for this one, there's no doubt. Oh my, Jeff Rempel in the 3rd position. Oh my, what's going to happen? This is going to be a heck of a finish with just a couple laps to go. Opportunity hit, opportunity missed by the number 8 of Tyler Dell. Tyler Dell still in 2nd. He had a shot there, was able to push Bryan DORGE up the racetrack, but DORGE was able to gather it back up and maintain that lead because it looked like Dell had hit the inside wall just a little bit, slowed everybody up. Rempel, always a smooth driver, taking it to the inside, and he's going to restart in the 3rd position. Now, if this was 2x2 or Delaware restart or a 2x2 file, he would be in a great position to be able to make a move here, but it's going to be single file. He's going to have to pass 2 cars in quick succession if he's going to have a shot at making this 3 for 3. Cameron Brown in the 4JR is going to go to the back of the field for causing this caution, but it is all action up front after that last restart. Bryan DORGE almost losing that pole position is going to restart in the lead, but Dell is all over that and is Rempel started 10th in 3rd position. They're going to tighten it right up here on this restart. Let's see if the pace truck's going to pull off this time. No, we're going to go one more lap. Senkow's getting the wave around on the pace car so he can get his lap back as he comes driving through on the inside. This is going to be a finish and a half. You know, it could be an exciting finish if Rempel wins this 3 for 3, and huge disappointment if DORGE is unable to win this. How do you lead 30 laps and get past on the last lap? Well, that can happen, and that's what stock car racing is all about. Yeah, I agree with some of the comments about DORGE not being too happy if he doesn't win this race, but hey, that's racing, and you can't control what other drivers do out there, and we're going to see a heck of a race. And yes, these are real players. These are real drivers. A lot of them drive real race cars in real life. Bryan DORGE, I think, has raced in the past. Tyler Dell's a race car driver in the number 12 of Jeff Rempel. Green flag as we go around. Turn number 4. This is going to be a doozy. Rempel right on the back bumper of the top 2 cars. On the inside, the number 8 of Dell. He's going to try to squeeze him out. On the inside. Lap and a half to go. Lap and a half. Here comes Rempel. He's going to try the outside. Can he gain a little bit? Oh my. 1 lap to go for the number 16 of Bryan DORGE. Dell to the inside. I don't think it's going to be enough. Are we going to have another caution before this is done? Doesn't look like it. Dell's going to dive right in. Oh, he's going to get into the side of him. He goes sideways. Who's it going to be? Rempel into the inside wall. Your winner, Bryan DORGE. Bryan DORGE. Your winner. Oh, what a finish Poor Jeff Rempel doing everything he could. Wasn't his fault what happened with Tyler Dell. Bryan Dorge, your first new winner of season number 3. We're going to have a chat with the top 3 drivers in this race as Tyler Dell, I don't even know who finished 3rd on what happened because, wow, we're going to have a chat with the top 3, so stick around. What a finish. Dorge must be just elated as we're going to have a quick chat with all 3 of them. What a finish. Considering all those cautions, you most certainly wouldn't want to miss that race. Bryan Dorge, your feature winner. As we get the drivers in here, we're going to start with the 3rd place driver. I feel like I've talked to this driver very recently. Shawn Clausen, the number 33, started 7th based on what I see here, finished 3rd. Wow, this is another good run for you.
Yeah, I'll take that. It was real good run up front for most of the night. Made some early passes to get up there, and top 4 or 5 was just nose to tail, a real good fight. It was basically anyone's race at any point in time. So that was good.
So, last season and in the first season especially, you would be really strong early on and you'd slowly fall back or run into problems or with other drivers. What's different now that is allowing you to be more consistent?
Just taking my time, being a little bit more patient, not yeah, just hitting my marks and taking my time is really the biggest thing.
Well, Shawn, who would you like to thank for this top 3 finish?
Oh, well, I forgot to thank you guys last week for putting on this show and all the work that you guys do. I also want to thank Van City RV, Leisure Travel Vans, Kuwait and Truck, Country Kitchen Winkler, Chad's Auto.
All right. Well, thanks, Shawn. We hope to see you again next Thursday, and maybe we'll see you on a podium finish again. But let's move into 2nd place. Tyler Dell, the number 8. What happened on that last lap? Can you walk us through, especially the battle with the 16 of Dorge?
I was just trying to get by him any way I could. I was trying not to take him out. So
Did you feel in the last caution before, like after the other caution, which was after the other caution, that was after the other caution, but the one where he slid up the racetrack and you had a real opportunity there, what happened? Were you just not able to keep enough grip to be able to make that move?
yeah, I think I got hit from behind and just kind of messed up that corner.
All right, well, who'd you like to thank for this 2nd place finish?
My mom and my dad and my sponsors, Sills, Carmen Concrete, and Plutt Brothers Construction.
All right. Well, thanks, Tyler, and really appreciate you being on the Cooldown.tv iRacing series. And we hope to see you again next week. But here is your winner, Bryan Dorge. Bryan, oh my, you must have been like, I cannot believe all these cautions. And boy, did you have some close ones. Walk us through the race.
I'm definitely sweating a little bit after giving up a couple of lanes to Tyler. And after I saw his red nose coming at me in my mirror, I was pretty scared. And I just tried to keep it straight, and I don't know. Just, it really helped starting in the top spot of that race, that's for sure.
Was there that point in the same caution restart that I mentioned to Tyler Dell when you slid up the racetrack? Were you sweating by that point? Were you maybe holding your breath a little bit?
I thought it was done, and then I gassed it and tried to take the high line and get as much momentum in as I could, and it looked like he did get a bit loose, and he got slowed up, and then the yellow came out, so I got pretty lucky there, I'd say.
You looked like you tried your best to stay right against that wall, but Dell was still able to kind of squeeze in a spot. Just the way the corner works out. Were you worried that he was going to take you out?
Yeah, I was slowing down quite a bit, and it made me worry a little bit, and he was coming up pretty quick, but I did get him a little bit, but it didn't seem too bad. It was tons of fun.
Who would you like to thank?
I just thank you guys for putting this on, and whoever is still out there watching.
All right, and I just wanted to also mention that someone on the Twitch wanted to say hi. His name's Loco69, so just a big hello to all the drivers out there, including Bryan Dorge. He's the one that picked you to win.
Awesome. Well, hello, and thank you.
Awesome stuff. And we want to thank all the drivers that participated in tonight, and a special thanks to all our fans from our YouTube stream, as well as Facebook, those on Twitch. Really appreciate your support week in and week out. And we provide you some great racing every Thursday night. So we hope to see you next week. We wish you all a great weekend and next week. And we will see you back here on the Cooldown.tv iRacing Street Stock Series as we enter week number 4 of season number 3.